Saying no once and then saying it again and then saying it again, you start telling your brain that you are someone that not looking to solve your problems with a small drink, and you are capable of being strong, you are capable of being in the moment, you are capable of being present, you are capable of sitting with your feelings that are uncomfortable and saying, I am not going to escape this feeling with a drink. I'm going to face this feeling that I have, this sad thought, this anxiety, and I'm not going to escape. I'm not going to numb it. I'm going to feel it like I should feel it. And this is how you should do it. You should not escape your feelings. You should sit with them. You should pray. You should meditate. You should, okay, I have this feeling today that my dad passed away, and today it's really strong today that I'm missing my dad. But I'm sitting with this feeling. I am not going to go to the bar. I am not going to go to this. I'm not going to chase a woman and try to sleep with her to escape this feeling. I'm going to sit with this feeling, and I'm just going to face it head on. And the next time that this feeling comes, and the next time, and the next time, the next time, this feeling that you get, it decreases and decreases and decreases, and you no longer have to numb yourself. You no longer have to chase external things. You look internally and you say, things happen in life. I am Bav. You know, people are going to say things are going to happen in my life, negative things, but it's okay. I do not have to escape this feeling. And trust me, this is the strongest thing that has shown me over the last 12 months, that the more you are saying no, the more strong you are, the more discipline you have, the better your life becomes. I wrote down some dot points. I'm going to look at this here and there because there's a lot of things I want to explain in this video. But the first thing is, why did I quit alcohol? Why? I'm 25 years old last year when I quit. Now I'm 26. But the reason that I quit is it was becoming too much for me. And I was using alcohol as my vice. And I would be drinking all the time. As an influencer or as someone that's invited to a lot of events, the champagne everywhere, the butler hands you the alcohol. And, it's very easy to be in a situation or environment with alcohol, especially working in fashion. So I was just always in these environments that would make it easy for me to drink. And, I was born in Australia. Australia has a big drinking culture, and every day people would ask, go to the bar or the pub, and I would always be in these situations where I would be in a bar or a nightclub or somewhere in a party or an event. If you guys have followed me for a while, you know how many events I go to, and it's good for me because of the opportunities I get, the networking. It's really good. Some of my biggest opportunities have come through these events. But I would always think that I needed to drink to lower my social anxiety and to socialize with people, because someone like me, I used to be very, very quiet. Anyone from my high school knows that I didn't even talk most of the time. And when I started drinking at 21 years of 21 years of age, I really relied on alcohol to get out of my shell. But then eventually I realized that I can do that without alcohol. I don't need alcohol to facilitate that. And now I can just go to a party and enjoy myself without the need of it, and still socialize with people, still network with people. So there's no reason for me to drink anyway. But yeah, I was drinking way too much, and I wasn't happy with my life, even though I was achieving so many things. And in 2023, my dad passed away, which was a huge loss to me. And as a son, the biggest thing that can happen in your life negatively, I believe, is a parent passing away. And many men will not even sit with their feelings. They will just try to um, numb the feeling down by doing certain things. And my problem has always been alcohol since I started. I would, when I walked into an event, I would straight away go for the alcohol, and then I would start talking to people. Without the alcohol, I found it hard, and I started to rely on it too much, and this is a bad thing. A lot of people that I talk to, especially as a creative, they think that, okay, I need to drink the alcohol to be able to get out of my shell. But guys, all of us, we don't need that. We do not need that. If you're always thinking that I need it, I need it, I need it, of course you're gonna need it, because your confidence is low, your self-esteem is low. But trust me, you're a creative person. You have worth, you have self-worth. You don't need a liquid to bring that courage out. It's called liquid courage, but the courage should come within yourself, not externally. If it's coming externally, there's always going to be big problems. Trust me, that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned over this past year of not drinking alcohol. So also my dad never drank alcohol and he never smoked, and my mum never drank alcohol and never smoked. So this is why, even though the drinking age is 18 in Australia, I started drinking at 21 because my parents raised me well, and they raised me without drinking or anything like that. And they told me not to, but when I started to get invited to a lot of events, and as I said before, the butlers coming around with champagne, I got curious. So I had my first drink at 21 years of age, and one of my really good friends, Valentino, I met him before I started drinking at an influencer event, and then I met him. Now we're still good friends, even here even in Dubai, because yeah, he's one of my really good friends. But he knows me before alcohol I started drinking, and he knows me after. And yeah, I became a huge party person as well, which was really bad because when you get known for being the party guy, then you're always thinking, okay, I need to be drinking to facilitate that kind of lifestyle. But anyway, that'll come later on. So my dad never drank, and when he passed away, I started drinking even more because it was a big loss to me. It was really hard for me to get through the feeling that my dad's gone forever. It was a huge loss to me. Terminal cancer. Um, Cancer, it's a terminal illness, so there was many things that I was going through. I was like, why did this happen, God? Why did my dad, who's such a really good person, so kind and caring, sacrificed everything for his children? Why is he gone? And the easiest thing for me to do was just drink and numb my feeling down. And 2023, 2024 were really, like, even though I was achieving a lot of things, they were really dark years for me. I'll be straight up with you guys. Drinking too much, and it was just, yeah, it was, when I look through my photos, almost alcohol almost every day. I mean, that's crazy, guys. That's binge drinking. That's really bad. And somehow, I don't know how, my health, it didn't falter, even though my sleep was pretty bad, but everything else was fine. And that, I think I'm just lucky somehow, genetically gifted or something, because a lot of other people might have gotten kidney failure or something. I was drinking a lot, guys. If I went to an event, if I had like 8 glasses of champagne, a little bit of whiskey, vodka, this is a lot of alcohol. And on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I would go night clubbing, and I would usually have a table, and this would be like 9 glasses of vodka, and this is plus the days before: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So this would be drinking almost every single day. And when you go to an influencer event, there's all these alcohol, and the butler keeps coming around, and you're talking to other people, and you grab the drink, you lose count of how much you actually drink. So this was insane to me. That my lifestyle was actually crazy, and people would tell me my lifestyle is amazing. I want to live your life. You're always around women. You're always having so much fun. It doesn't even look like you're working. But guys, like, if I actually look back on it in retrospect, my lifestyle was not something to be admired. It was something that should have been pitied by people, because this back then I thought I was the guy. I thought I was amazing. And then when I would get home, I would have to sit with my feelings, and it would be uncomfortable. I'll have to say to myself, okay, my dad's gone. I should have actually, sat with the feeling and thought to myself, okay, my dad's gone. I shouldn't be drinking this much. I should instead be working on myself, improving myself. And my social media is all about mindset, about improving yourself, about dressing better, about becoming the best version of yourself. If I'm drinking every day and I'm making myself look like a fool, and I'm chasing a lot of women, this is not what a role model should do. So a lot of young kids follow me. That I have a duty not to glorify this kind of lifestyle, I think. And I realized this more when I moved to Dubai in December. So I quit alcohol in June, and then in December I moved to Dubai. And then over the last few months, a lot of kids have come up to me and say they've seen my videos before and they really like me. They love my outfits. This has happened so much in Dubai, and that made me realize even more that I'm a role model. I cannot be posting alcohol. I cannot be posting, chasing women. I cannot be posting all these kinds of crazy stuff, So that's one of the big uh, blessings that have shown me through Dubai, that I really need to be careful of what I post and what I do in this world, because I believe God has given me this platform of social media and showed me exactly how to spread my message in the world, that I cannot be just posting crazy stuff like that. And also a big thing is mental clarity and reduced anxiety. I struggle with anxiety. I've always struggled with deep anxiety. And alcohol would make it much worse. Much worse. And no one really talks about this with alcohol, but people always say, oh, alcohol makes me so confident. Okay, sometimes it does, but most of the time for me, it would really increase my anxiety. And coffee does this as well. That's why I had to really reduce or remove alcohol, remove caffeine as well. But when I would drink an espresso martini, it would feel really good at first, and then throughout the night, like I'll get jitters, and I would feel like, you know, it's really hard to explain anxiety to someone if they don't have it. But yeah, mental clarity is one of the biggest ones, because the day after drinking, I would feel like absolute crap, and if I'm drinking every day, then this just compounds and compounds and compounds. It gets worse and worse and worse. It's not a good thing. So clarity is one of the biggest things. And also, I became Muslim on the same day that I quit alcohol. So the clarity from um, Islam and the clarity from removing alcohol have really synergized well. And I feel so much at peace now every day. Back then, I was feeling like I had a lot of demons, and I feel like I wasn't living to my fullest potential, because I would always feel grumpy every day, or I would feel like frustrated over the smallest things. Literally, the smallest things would set me off. And nowadays, something small happens, and I'm like, it's okay. You know, things happen in life, and this is not the end of the world. And back then, I would get really angry over the smallest things, really, really angry. Another thing is better sleep, way more energy, and discipline. So energy is one of the biggest ones, guys. Like, I would get so tired before, really, really tired. That's why I don't have to drink all these espresso martinis late at night, to keep that energy up. And sleep is so important, because alcohol, it just disrupts your sleep like there's no tomorrow. And even though you think, okay, I drink alcohol and then I can go to sleep, like some of my friends, they'll drink wine just so they can go to sleep. But this actually reduces your REM sleep, and therefore it reduces the quality of your sleep, even though you think that it's helping you go to sleep. A doctor, one of my doctor friends, he actually explained that to me, and it actually makes a lot of sense, because when you drink alcohol and you sleep and then you wake up in the morning, it doesn't feel the same as when you go to sleep sober and you wake up in the morning sober. So um, I wrote down becoming Muslim, but I already spoke about that. But also moving to Dubai was a big one, because in Dubai, it's a Muslim country, and even though there is alcohol there, but when you're hearing the call to prayer every time it's prayer time, or you're walking through the mall, and there's different ethics, there's different customs. Like, you have to dress modestly, and even buying alcohol, it's not readily available every single place like it is in Australia. In Australia, there's bottle shops everywhere, there's pubs everywhere, there's bars everywhere. Okay, there is a lot of bars in Dubai as well, but it's just different. And people, they would rather catch up over a coffee or a really nice cafe, lunch, brunch, or dinner, rather than going, okay, let's have a drink tonight. In Sydney, it's common to go to the bar or the pub and just have a drink or a beer, because that's the Aussie way. There's nothing wrong with that. Guys, I'm not saying alcohol is the enemy here. I'm just saying it's so easily and readily available in Australia. So also career growth. Now this is a crazy one because last week I modeled for Adidas, and then also this week I'm invited to this Bali resort opening. And this happened in the same month that I quit alcohol. 12 months ago I quit alcohol in June, and then this year in June I'm invited to this insane resort for the 7-day grand opening, and also I modeled for Adidas in the same month. These are two of my biggest opportunities I've had in my life, and I don't think it's a coincidence that this happened 12 months after I quit alcohol. So I want to say that alignment really happens when you quit alcohol, especially as an entrepreneur. Once I quit alcohol, things started to move so quickly in my favor, and things started to come to me. Energy. I feel like when you put good energy out into the world, great energy comes back. So quitting alcohol and becoming Muslim and really working on myself every day, really improving myself every day, saying no is such a big thing. You know, people would ask me, just have one drink, it's your birthday, come on. I'm like, no, I quit alcohol, that's not me anymore, that's a different Mav. Some people only know the past version of you, and they still stick to that version. But this version of me is completely different to the version of me that was 1 year ago. 25 years old, I was in a different mindset. I was in a different world. And now, 26-year-old Bav, I'm very proud to say that I have become the version of myself that I should have always become. Drinking alcohol and starting to drink alcohol at 21 years of age was the biggest mistake of my life. But I believe everything happens for a reason. And God, I'm very grateful to God for allowing me to become Muslim, and all of the steps that led me to becoming Muslim was it's actually crazy once I think about it, because every single thing happened for a reason, I believe. And just to be here, guys, just to be in this resort, every time I look out that window, I cannot believe it. But yeah, more opportunities, I've said that. And the hidden costs of alcohol. The hidden costs of alcohol is not just the monetary cost, even though it is expensive. You know, I used to really love drinking cocktails, and when you're drinking cocktails all the time, the weekly cost, the monthly cost would become very, very high, and the VIP tables, all of this, and you would get stuck into that lifestyle. The hidden costs of alcohol is that I believe that I would not really, you don't really think that alcohol is bad for you because it's everywhere, right? We're not taught that alcohol is bad. I mean, some people are waking up now, and uh, now it's very common not to drink alcohol. I feel like this year it's really become a big thing of not drinking alcohol, and there's so many like non-alcoholic options now. For years, it's become such a peer pressure thing to drink, and to say no. It's quite like a big thing. I feel like, especially in Australia, like you say no to alcohol, you're not you're not fun anymore. You're not that cool guy. You're a weirdo, or you're different, and people just look down on you. That's what I realized. Especially, I've lost a lot of friends. Not a lot of friends, I would say. Like, I've lost some friends, but they were not friends anyway. If they cannot respect my decision of not drinking alcohol, they're not a real friend. Because, you know, it's just a choice I have, and it doesn't impact you in any way. So why are you saying that, you know, I'm not a cool guy anymore, or, you know, I'm not fun anymore, I don't want to hang out with you anymore? All right. So that's a really interesting hidden cost, is you lose people. But anyway, those people were not meant for you. They're all fake friends. So it's actually a good thing. Once you start talking to people sober at a party, you realize how meaningless some conversations are as well. And you realize how much of a waste of time alcohol leads to. Because like, when I walk into a party now, I'm not drinking alcohol. A lot of men are just talking about the most random things, and they think they're saying something profound, but they're not. You realize how seedy some guys are. Like, seedy basically means like how weird they are, and you know, it reveals human character a lot. And you don't realize these things when you're drunk as well. You start to miss the red flags in people. And I'm not just saying red flags in relationships. I'm talking about red flags in business partnerships. I'm talking about red flags in friendships. Like, a lot of guys in Australia, when I went back in April for my birthday, I realized how much they're really trying to manipulate a woman into sleeping with him and certain other things. And I would have to warn girls like, sorry, I realize that this guy he's saying something to you, but he's saying something else to me. And there's other things as well. I mean, you can notice certain things when you're sober, when you're drunk as well, but you notice a lot more when you're sober. So that's one thing. And walking into a nightclub and just partying for the sake of partying, I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. If I go to a party, I want to make content. I want to show people that this is the experience, and you can go here, you get the experience, and then I can also get paid through that as well. But I want to network with people. That's the main reason I go to parties. That's the main reason that I want to meet people. And I always love hearing people's stories. And you meet really interesting people when you go to a party, especially if you're in the VIP section, or you're meeting the owner of the venue or the nightclub, and you meet some really high profile people at parties. That's one of the big reasons I love to go to parties. But just going for the sake of partying, being in the mosh pit, just dancing, I would not do that unless it's a really big artist that I like. If it's The Weeknd, if it's Destroy Lonely, if it's Playboy Cardi, if it's anyone that I really enjoy listening to music, I will go just for the sake of that. But I don't really go to concerts at all. I mean, I've been to some festivals because I was paid to make content, or I was invited by a guest. I was invited as a guest by Red Bull or something like this, and then I will go for the content, or for work, for making for making the content and making the influencer stuff. But otherwise, I would not party just for the sake of partying, and I suggest you not to do that as well. And I said here, compound effect of small decisions. Saying no once, and then saying it again, and then saying it again, you start telling your brain that you are someone that is not looking for a drink, not looking to solve your problems with a small drink, and you are capable of being strong, you are capable of being in the moment, you are capable of being present, you are capable of sitting with your feelings that are uncomfortable and saying, I am not going to escape this feeling with a drink. I want to face this feeling that I have, this sad thought, this uh, this anxiety, and I'm not going to escape. I'm not going to numb it. I'm going to feel it like I should feel it. And this is how you should do it. You should not escape your feelings. You should sit with them. You should pray. You should meditate. You should, okay, I have this feeling today that, my dad passed away, and today it's really strong today that I'm missing my dad. But I'm sitting with this feeling. I am not going to go to the bar. I am not going to go to this. I'm not going to chase a woman and try to sleep with her to escape this feeling. I'm going to sit with this feeling, and I'm just going to face it head on. And the next time that this feeling comes, and the next time, and the next time, the next time, this feeling that you get, it decreases and decreases and decreases, and you no longer have to numb yourself. You no longer have to chase external things. You look internally and you say, things happen in life. I am Bav. People are gonna say things. Other things are gonna happen in my life, negative things, but it's okay. I do not have to escape this feeling. And trust me, this is the strongest thing that has shown me over the last 12 months, that the more you are saying no, the more strong you are, the more discipline you have, the better your life becomes. Overall, I would say that the lessons that I have over the past 12 months is that you don't need to drink alcohol to have fun. You do not need to drink alcohol to network with people. Overall, alcohol is not the enemy, but it would be a problem for me. It would be my vice. Alcohol was my vice. I would say it. Alcohol is my vice. It was, and I would realize it, but I would not quit. And then finally, when I became Muslim, I realized, you know what? Alcohol is holding me so back. And I also had a dream of my dad. Literally, my dad told me that you're moving to Dubai in a few months, and if you do not quit alcohol, the alcohol will hold you back. And you would be so far ahead of yourself professionally and mentally if you quit alcohol. And after that dream, when I woke up, that was the same day that I quit alcohol. And also the same day that something happened to me that I cannot explain. But that thing that happened to me was also the reason that I became Muslim as well. So the dream and the thing that happened to me were two things that led me to becoming Muslim and to quitting alcohol. But I also had the feeling that people I also had the feeling that I should quit because it was becoming too much. I'd be drinking every day. I'll be feeling low all the time. I'll be feeling like I'll be holding myself back, even though things were going very well in my life. I had the feeling that I should quit, but I didn't quit until certain things happened, and then I quit. So June 14th, June 15th, these 2 days are, Alhamdulillah, very important to me. And now I'm here 12 months later in this beautiful resort, and I feel like life has never been better for me. So 1 year later without alcohol, I can safely say that for me personally, alcohol has become much better. And if you're an entrepreneur as well, I would suggest to you quit alcohol for 1 year and just see the difference. Just 1 year. You don't have to quit it for life. Quit it for 1 year, and I promise you, things will start moving to you. Things will start moving in your favor. Business will be better for you, and you will feel mentally much better. I promise you all of these things. Just try it, and the discipline that you will get from all of this will be out of this world. So I just want to explain that if you want to follow me for more lifestyle, for mindset, for fashion, you can check out me on Instagram at bav.xo, and in the link in the description I'll have my stand store. You don't have to buy anything, but if you want to support me, you can buy an ebook, and I put a lot of time and effort into these ebooks and digital products. I'm also a fashion stylist, so if you want to improve your fashion sense, I offer remote styling sessions via video call or in person in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. If you want to book it in person, just DM me on Instagram. Otherwise, if you want to book it remotely, book it by the stand store link in the description. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and comment with your thoughts.